Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the flight deck Captain Wilson speaking. Firstly, on behalf of all our crew, I'd like to welcome you on board this Flawless 195 World Tour service from Nice to Barcelona. This is flight 046 of 209. If this is your first flight with us today, then we do advise that you watch the route explainer video before you take to your seats. However, if you are a returning viewer, then we do recommend that you subscribe to the channel before departing the aircraft today. We should be clear to taxi out in the next few minutes for a departure time of 7:15 p.m. and we are heading in a southwest direction towards Barcelona. I'll now begin our in-flight entertainment, which today will be the music of my own choice, as we are not heading into a capital city of a country. That'll be once we do Barcelona to Madrid. That's where we'll have the Spanish music. And why are we going? If you haven't seen the route explainer video and you've seen the intro and it says capital city, every capital city, why are we doing Nice to Barcelona? Well, I'm in the middle of an excursion leg on this world tour, and the reason why we were in Nice is to get over to Monaco, and the reason why we're going to Barcelona is to head north to Andorra. So we're basically dropping off this Airbus A320 in Barcelona, getting the Daher up to La Seu d'Urgell in northern Spain, before then getting a helicopter into Andorra La Vella, and then of course the return legs as well, helicopter back to La Seu d'Urgell and Daher TBM back to Barcelona, where we then pick up the Airbus A320 and then go to Madrid. That'll be the Spanish leg of the journey, if you like. And from there, at that point, we're in new ground as the world tour attempts go, and then on to Lisbon, Portugal from there. All right, so that's a brief explainer of why the hell we're going to Barcelona when it's not a capital, and why the hell we're in Nice, which isn't a capital. It's a complicated journey, of which there are many twists and turns and many different aircraft used, and so just bear with me. I know where I'm going and what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing and I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, so that explains it. But we are in a race against the setting sun, so let's get on with it. I will start the music now, although please be aware it'll be switched off during takeoff and landing. And with that being said, if you have any questions regarding the Flawless 195 World Tour, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the section below. And finally, I'd just like to say thank you for choosing Flawless 195 today. It's a pleasure to have you on board from Nice to Barcelona. Thank you and enjoy the flight. Let's get some tunes.
Nice clearance delivery 195 Foxtrot Lima Alpha Whiskey Lima Echo Sierra IFR to Barcelona, ready to copy. 195 Foxtrot Lima Alpha Whiskey Lima Echo Sierra is cleared to Barcelona Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 22 right climb and maintain 10,000 feet. Departure frequency is 120.85 off at 6475. 195 Foxtrot Lima Alpha Whiskey Lima Echo Sierra cleared to Barcelona Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 22 right climb and maintain 10,000 feet.
Please pay attention to illuminated signs and crew instructions, including the following safety procedures. The safety card found in your seat pocket contains important information about exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets, and the brace position that you must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are 8 emergency exits on this aircraft. The cabin crew are now pointing out the exits nearest to you. Please be aware that your nearest usable exit may be behind you. Emergency lighting will guide you to an exit. In an emergency, leave all baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on. We recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply fails, masks will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth and breathe normally. Hold the mask in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask before helping others. If we land on water, take a life jacket from under your seat. Remove from the pouch and put it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist and click together. Pull the strap to adjust. Do not inflate it inside the aircraft. When outside, inflate it by pulling the toggle. If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow into this tube. There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. The cabin crew can assist you with life jackets for children. Your tray table must now be stowed, armrests down, window blinds open, and seatbelt fastened. Further information regarding your safety on board can be found in the in-flight magazine. We hope you have a great flight.
East Tower 195 Foxtrot Lima Alpha Whiskey Lima Echo Sierra at runway 22 right ready for departure IFR to Barcelona.
195 Foxtrot Lima Alpha Whiskey Lima Echo Sierra altimeter 29er decimal niner, following 197 at 7. Cleared for takeoff runway 22 right.
Cleared for takeoff runway 22 right 195 Foxtrot Lima Alpha Whiskey Lima Echo Sierra.
Cabin crew seats for takeoff.
maintain flight level 180-195 Foxtrot Lima Alpha Whiskey Lima Echo Sierra.
Foxtrot Lima Alpha Whiskey Lima Echo Sierra climb and maintain flight level 260.
Climb and maintain flight level 260-195 Foxtrot Lima Alpha Whiskey Lima Echo Sierra.
This is the type of music I like to call music premium. This ain't no run-of-the-mill 3-bob tune that's on the charts for a week and a half and then you never hear it again. This is music premium. Just wanted to make a point of that. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Just a quick update from the flight deck. We have levelled out now at 38,000 feet, doing 480 knots ground speed. Yeah, I didn't say, I don't think, before we took off how long I expected the flight to be. The answer to that is about 40 minutes. So we're probably more than halfway through now. I can already see the destination coming into view at about 130 miles out on the maps. My eyes aren't that good, but yeah, on the navigation systems I can see the runway is about 130 miles out now. We start our descent about 100 miles out from the destination. So yeah, we should be starting our descent in the next 5 to 10 minutes, and then down we go into Barcelona. What else did I want to say? Oh yeah, also ILS is available for Barcelona Airport. But I've chosen against that because the route that it was bringing me in would add another 20 minutes onto the journey, and I feel I'm experienced enough to judge it and get it down without the ILS assistance. Where it's optional. I think ILS is optional for me where it makes sense. Or maybe if on a more difficult descent, or where it makes sense in terms of it's not overly complicated, I'll use ILS. Don't get me wrong, I'll put the stabilizers on when I think it's necessary, but in this scenario I don't need the stabilizers. The runway is pretty much, we're not 90 degrees on to the runway orientation when we get there. I'll just have to probably come out a little bit to the left and then swoop it in to the right, maybe a 20-30 degrees angle, and we're in. So I've just got to judge when I take manual control of the aircraft, and yeah, it'll be cushy. So yeah, like I say, about a 40-minute flight. So yeah, we're over halfway there now, and should be starting our descent pretty soon. In fact, this is probably the first message. Oh no, it's not yet, but they'll start telling me to descend soon, but they're always overcautious with it. I know to start descending about 100 miles out, and that should line us up about right. But yeah, enjoy music premium.
195 Foxtrot Lima Alpha Whiskey Lima Echo Sierra. Marseille Center 195 Foxtrot Lima Alpha Whiskey Lima Echo Sierra is passing flight level 380, descending flight level 280.
195 Foxtrot Lima Alpha Whiskey Lima Echo Sierra Marseille Center radar contact. Continue to main. Foxtrot Lima Alpha Whiskey Lima Echo Sierra contact Barcelona Center on 119.45. Good day.
119.45 195 Foxtrot Lima Alpha Whiskey Lima Echo Sierra. Goodbye. Barcelona Center 195 Foxtrot Lima Alpha Whiskey Lima Echo Sierra is passing flight level 380, descending flight level 280.
195 Foxtrot Lima Alpha Whiskey Lima Echo Sierra Barcelona Center radar contact. Continue to dispatch.
Descend and maintain flight level 200 195 Foxtrot Lima Alpha Whiskey Lima Echo Sierra. Descend and maintain 8,000 feet. Expect for DME runway 24 right approach via Charlie Lima Echo transition. Clear to Charlie Lima Echo 195 Foxtrot Lima Alpha Whiskey Lima Echo Sierra. Descend and maintain 5,000 feet. 195 Foxtrot Lima Alpha Whiskey Lima Echo Sierra.
Oh, here's where it gets good, baby. Let's go. M83. Hit me with the M83. Oh, turn it up to the max.
121.155 195 Foxtrot Lima Alpha Whiskey Lima Echo Sierra. Goodbye. Barcelona approach 195 Foxtrot Lima Alpha Whiskey Lima Echo Sierra is passing 10,900 feet, descending 5,000 feet. Descend and maintain 2,300 feet. 195 Foxtrot Lima Alpha Whiskey Lima Echo Sierra. Foxtrot Lima Alpha Whiskey Lima Echo Sierra.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, seatbelts for landing. I'm going to take manual control of the aircraft from here to the end of the flight, so buckle in.
Foxtrot Lima Alpha Whiskey Lima Echo Sierra, wind 148 at tree. Clear to land runway 24 right.
Clear to land runway 24 right 195 Foxtrot Lima Alpha Whiskey Lima Echo Sierra.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to El Prat Airport, Barcelona. I didn't name it, someone did. Local time is just coming up to 8 p.m. and the outside air temperature is a very warm and very nice 31 degrees. I would now like to ask that you please keep your seatbelt fastened until the sign switched off, and please ensure to collect all your belongings before leaving the aircraft today. If you'd enjoyed flying with us, then we do recommend that you hit the like button on the screen in front of you now, especially for that music premium today, powered by M83 on Flawless 195. Oh, just listen to that music premium. Let it into your bloodstream. Let it take you to a different place. Oh. Ooh. Music hitting only like M83 can on this flight from Nice to Barcelona. But we made it down safely. Judged the descent quite well, if I don't mind patting myself on the back. And landed pretty smoothly, so not too bad. That is flight 046 in the bag. And tomorrow is where we take a deep breath and we get in the Daha TBM 930 and we head into the Spanish mountains en route to Andorra. A fate of which has ended this world tour about 18 months ago, albeit I wasn't uploading it to YouTube, so I didn't have that kind of pressure. And I ended up in the Spanish mountains and not returning back to this airport. So we're on the edge of groundbreaking territory in this world tour. If I make it back to this airport to pick up this plane that I'm just about to drop off, then I am officially further than I've ever gotten before. We're on the cusp, ladies and gentlemen, so join me tomorrow for I'll do the 4 flights tomorrow. I'll go from here to Le Soudurgel in the Daha. I'll then go from Le Soudurgel to Andorra La Vella. I'm back again before coming back and touching down tomorrow evening. No, before lunch tomorrow. So it's going to be early morning. Well, not that early. Mid-morning. But it'll only be, you see, it's only going to be 20 minutes to Le Soudurgel, something like that. And 10 minutes into Andorra, 10 minutes back, 20 minutes back here. I reckon I can do all 4 flights in about an hour or so. So join me for a big leg of the world tour tomorrow to Andorra and back. But for now, that is flight 046 of 209. We're down on the ground safely in Barcelona. El Prat welcomes Flawless 195, and we are down with the music premium. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, I'd like to wish you a pleasant onward journey. Thank you for flying with us. I've been Captain Wilson. See you again very soon. Thank you. I think there's been a crash. I think he's gone through terminal building. As long as I haven't, that's the main thing. As long as I don't go through the terminal building, the world tour shall continue. There's something going on with him. It might be for you, but it's not going to be for me. Right, see you next time. Thank you.